what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. So it's been a very positive news cycle as of late for the Tigers, right? You have Let's just try to go through it all. I don't want to miss it. Okay, so first, you win the bowl game. Your new quarterback looks great. That's awesome. Post OC, all of a sudden everybody's like not worried about Mike Denbrock.
Yep.
Then you're a bit bummed, but you flip Dominic McKinley, the 5-star from Texas A&M. You're still a little frustrated. You still have the defensive coaches. You end up letting them all go.
Yeah, you move from 12th in recruiting all the way up to 7th.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big jump.
That's a massive jump. And we already liked the class as well. Then, again, you actually decide kind of out of nowhere because you kept it close to the vest that you are going to change the entire defensive staff. You go and take what was everybody's kind of number one candidate, but thought maybe you wouldn't have the numbers to do so, the monetary resource to do so. You go and get Blake Baker to be your defensive coordinator, making him the highest paid coordinator in the country at $2.5 million a year, another major DC contract handed out by Scott Woodward. And then it kind of became like, okay, well, this is too much. Like, this is too much. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because I'd been talking, like, very confidently about, I believe, Bo Davis and Corey Raymond. Like, I think those are moves that you can kind of be confident in. And then I was like, wait, Bo Davis makes $1.1 million already.
Right.
Like, never mind. You can't. There's not enough money. Well, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday,
wow.
yeah.
Yesterday, we get the news that LSU has hired Bo Davis away from Texas to the tune of $1.5 million a year. Say whatever you will about Woodward, the leadership, whatever. Money, support, resources are not going to be an excuse, right? The administration is providing Kelly and company with whatever they need in order to be successful, and they out here spending. And a D-line coach now making 1.5, but I get it. I mean, if you saw the reaction from, like, Devon Godchaux and others, Jake, online, like, the amount of D-linemen coming out of the woodwork to be like, this is an incredible hire. LSU's going to get back. And it comes at a time when you desperately need it, because the only bad news recently has been Mekhi Wingo leaving, then Maason Smith leaving you pretty depleted in the interior. Otherwise, it's been rosy. And then Nick Saban leaves. Like on top of it all, Nick Saban leaves. It's crazy.
You know, one of the things we didn't talk about yesterday, and this is just like a theory to try to figure out maybe why some guys are leaving when their NFL draft stock is at a very, very low place right now. Like, we looked it up. Top 12 defensive tackles, nowhere to be found in there. Do you think, T-Bob, it could be a situation like you get Blake Baker in, you're watching tape, Blake Baker knows kind of some of the personnel there, and you're starting to talk about NIL, and you're like, wait a minute, he's making what? That guy's making what? And this is the performance? Like, could that be any of the conversation? Like, hey, look, we got to spend that somewhere else.
So I will say this. The only reason why I sometimes doubt stuff like that is because it's very convenient for the ruling party, right? Who benefits if that is the case, right? Like, kind of from a public relations standpoint. Well, it's all of a sudden, no, you didn't break up with me. I broke up with you. And so it could be true. I'm not saying it's not true or is true, but that is, I mean, it could be the case. But I always treat those stories with a grain of salt. But then again, you know,
that's not a story. I'm just trying to figure out why guys are declaring for the NFL draft when they didn't put their best tape on display. And some guys with injuries and even Mekhi Wingo's got a better case to go pro than Maason Smith.
Absolutely.
Mekhi Wingo put together an All-American season.
Yeah, and when he finally got
hurt.
healthy at the end of the year, he had a really good game at the end. No, but Maason Smith is taking a literal financial risk by doing this. Like we talked about, like, he's walking away from a lot of NIL money. His draft prospects are not high. And granted, maybe now you got a bit of a softer landing with something like the UFL. But if you don't make that NFL and that go-around, then you're in trouble, dude. What are you going to do? Like, you're out of football. And so, again, I definitely hope that he makes it, and he seems to have all the potential in the world, but the tape does not look like someone who was ready for the NFL. So what's exciting about Bo Davis, though, elite recruiter, LSU guy, all this sort of stuff, Louisiana legend, always been rumored to come back here. Finally now it's happening. Regardless of the talent that you end up getting or lack thereof on the D-line, what I feel confident about in Bo Davis is that he will elevate whatever pieces he has to work with, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's not going to be a dominant D-line because you don't have the dogs quite yet, but whoever he does have, he will make better.
You have to get some more. You have to get some more bodies in here, T-Bob. You just did. We went through the roster yesterday. Taylor, we say you had 2 that were on the roster.
Yeah, 2.
You're going to have some really talented freshmen coming in that are going to help you. Freshmen have to play now. Like, we know that. There's no redshirting anymore. Like, if you're here and you're somebody that they recruited and they're counting on, you're going to play pretty much right away. So you're going to have 3-4 guys come in that way, but you need some more veteran guys. You need some guys that have been through the fire. It doesn't have to be the SEC. Would prefer it to be the SEC, but you're going to have to add bodies. We talked about a couple of defensive tackles. You got one at Houston. You got one at Florida right now that probably feel like they're going to be targets for LSU. But, Bo Davis does help the equation. Certainly, and edge rushers is somewhere where I think that coaching can go up, certainly, as well. Like, you pay Bo Davis that much. I don't know this, but I would assume he's going to have everybody in his room.
Not just the interior.
Not just the
And
D
we'll see
tackles.
what kind of, what kind of scheme is Blake Baker going to run? Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.